Hello, welcome to Crescent Podcast. This is the place where we discuss all things business, parenting, neurodivergence, a bit of everything. I'm your host, Lucy Jesse, and I run Crescent Digital Marketing, where I work with neurodivergent-led businesses to create authentic, engaging, and accessible online content. Think social media, website, copy, newsletters, blog posts. So a big shout out to our brilliant sponsor, local business Purple Frog Signs. They're based in Gillingham. They can help with any of your professional signage needs, from design through to printing and delivery and setup. If you want to find out more, pop over to their website or follow them on Instagram or LinkedIn. So today I'm joined by the lovely Sammy from Boogie Tots, which is a children's entertainment company where they raise children's confidence through the joy of dance, be that toddler sessions in schools or parties. So welcome to the podcast, Sammy. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, very welcome. Excited to have you here today. So let's start at the beginning, find out a bit more about you and what led you to starting Boogie Tots.
So I have a holiday park entertainment background. When I was young, I aspired to be a haven mate. And my first job was working down up in Scarborough as a haven mate. I also got lead female vocalist, which was quite a revelation because I really enjoy singing, but I never really knew if I was very good at it. So that was really fun. So I worked through my career, worked for Haven, went abroad doing entertainment. I met my husband, moved back to UK, had a family, and my son naturally loved entertainment as well, singing, dancing, because he's been brought up around it. So we thought we'd look for a little class, that might encourage that behaviour. We just didn't really find anything. We tried a theatre school, but it wasn't for him because he couldn't stand still and follow the instructions, and he just wanted to run about the whole time. So I decided, with my background, I was already running adult classes, so I thought maybe we'll try like a little kids parent and toddler dance class. So that's how Boogie Tots was born.
Brilliant. So what did the first class look like? What was the setup?
So we had this idea that Ben and I would teach you a little dance routine that you would then do with your child. So you and your child will come, we stand up front, we do a little dance routine, you're going to copy. But almost within the first 5 minutes, we realised this is not going to work, because me and Ben could do it really easily because it's something we've done at home, we've practiced. Ben listens, then we'll do as his mum says, and that was just not what was happening at the class. So yeah, it felt like a bit of a disaster on that first class. I said, right, okay, let's sit down, do some nursery rhymes. And we sat down, we sang a couple of nursery rhymes. And someone then said, can we have Dingle Dangle Scarecrow? And I just did not know that song, and I just felt so embarrassed. I felt so embarrassed. And there's one person came with twins, so I charged them double. And I just felt, oh no, it's not going well at all.
So how did you change it after that? Or what does it all look like now when you do your classes?
Yeah, so it's a well-perfected lesson. We really engage the children. It flows. There's no breaks. The children get to request songs, so we're kind of playing to the crowd the whole time. It's very much like that mini disco you have when you go on holiday. And we're engaging the parents. There's, over the years, I've been doing it 18 years, there's been a lot of perfecting and making it better and improving, and we're doing it all the time. And something we get requested a lot from nurseries is, for boys, can it be for boys? It was started for a boy. And that's how I want the class to be, because girls are great, but they like choreography. They're very good at following a plan, whereas boys like that running around. I like to move it, crazy frog, all of that sort of thing. So we try and make sure it's got that high energy all the time.
Do you have, apart from that, obviously that first lesson, which was quite memorable, do you have another session that sticks in your mind more than others, or an experience? Or
so Boogie Tots works with special education needs schools. We found it works really well in them. I think, again, because it's got that dance along element. So there's no real expectations of anyone. We're not expecting you to learn a dance routine. We're just letting you listen to the music. The idea is that you copy the moves, but they don't always do that. And, enjoy the music, but feel good and express. It's about expressing themselves, really. So one particular class, I go into a certain school, and every term you get a new class. So you get 2 new classes for that term. And I asked at reception, who have we got today? And she said, we've got this class. So I said, can you tell me a bit about them? And they were 15 to 16-year-olds. So boogie tots doesn't really suit 15 to 16-year-olds. And they were all in wheelchairs. So I was like, oh, I'm not really sure how this is going to go. But being the professional entertainer that I am, I did have a little panic. But when I went in there, I just did the boogie tots stuff. And actually it went really well. They absolutely loved it. Yeah.
Did you tailor the music then to be a bit more like something in the charts as opposed to nursery rhymes?
Yeah, so we always start with head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I didn't use that time, but as the lessons went on, I did use that one because they do have some movement. But yeah, I think we did some Taylor Swift. I used a lot of my party dance stuff that I do. I work in a holiday park, so I used a lot of that. But one thing as well, the grown-ups that you get in the classes, like in the schools, in the nurseries, and also in the community, if you can get them on board and you can get them entertained and dancing, the lesson seems to work because they encourage the children. So
yeah.
But that's memorable because it shouldn't really work, but it absolutely worked.
Yeah, I can see why you would have had that moment of, and then actually, just go in there and it sounds brilliant.
Yeah. So the fact they're in wheelchairs, that's just like a mobility issue. The real question is they're 15 to 16-year-olds. That's the trouble. But I find actually, I've just done a thing with the guides on Saturday. We did a whole day thinking day, and we sort of did a bit of, it was songs by females, so like female empowerment and family and friendship. So that was quite nice. But they all embraced it. I think there's a dangerous age, maybe 13, when they're not too keen, but then they get over that and then they enjoy it. So I think if you can make people smile and they like good music, you're okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking my 12-year-old, it would be a challenge to get him to join in. But actually, having said that, as long as I wasn't dancing, I think he'd be fine. So one thing that I'm really intrigued with what you're doing with Boogie Tots is that you're starting to franchise it. I know less than nothing about franchising, and it all sounds really, really scary. But can you talk us through it? Like, what made you decide to want to do that? And then we'll go on to like the process of how it works.
Yeah, so I came. So I kind of knew about franchising, kind of a bit like you, thought it was something I could never do. I think someone said to me early on that, your business would need to make a lot of money to be able to franchise. My business does well, but it's not like McDonald's standard. But when we got into COVID, there was lots of opportunities that opened up to me. We all went online. I got exposed to some business coaching, and we were reaching people all across the country, all across the UK. We were holding kids' discos online, and people from all across the country. I also did a little bit of like a well-being session for Lloyds Bank for their families. So that sort of sparked something. And then I came across a franchise course. So I decided that this could be for me. Lots of children's activity providers do it. And I've been thinking about it more and more. And I'm getting a little bit older. I said to you, I've been doing it for 18 years. I do have instructors that go out for me, but they're kind of temporary. I'm not sure if they're going to be with me for a long time. And I don't really want Boogie Tots just to end when I've had enough of it. So franchising seemed like a good way to keep it going. I've seen sometimes in other businesses that I've explored, a franchisee ends up buying off head office, so it will continue even if I'm not necessarily the person. So so what a franchise is you buy the business in your area. So you invest some money into buying a Booby Tots business, and you could run this in Medway, say. And it's your business, you own it, you make all the decisions about it, but you follow our plans, you follow our structure, you use our brand, we give you all the training, we give you business advice, we help you along the way, kind of hold your hands. And, so what it does, as you know, as a business owner yourself, there's so much trial and error, isn't there? It just cuts out all that trial and error, and it puts those 18 years of experience into, like one package. Here you go.
So if someone wanted to take on a franchise with you, how would that work from like initial inquiry through to running their first class?
So we sort of have, it's kind of like an interview process, but the first thing we need to do would just be to have a chat. We were looking for people who are entertainers and have that dance teaching background. So we'd be looking for the right people. But the first thing would be to have a chat and see what kind of thing they're looking for. It's not necessarily, a quick thing. It's something that you would build up in your community, and it works perfectly for people that want to work around their family, because you can choose your own hours. So yeah, the first thing would be to get in touch. That's the first step, and then we take you through like a process. So if you were the right people, you like Booby Tots and we liked you, you could then come to a class to view it. We'd ask you to send us a video of you dancing and kind of progress from there, and we'd go a bit more in depth about the business and the investment and the plans and the agreements and that sort of thing.
And it's done by area, as you said, so someone would have like their patch. Is that?
Yeah. So we're quite small. We have one franchise at the moment, so pretty much the whole of UK is ready for someone. But yeah, the areas in Kent would be perfect. We have some school contracts already in Medway, so if there was anyone listening who was in Medway that was interested, like we've already got contracts ready for you. So yeah, that would be perfect.
So if someone wanted to take out a franchise, they need to be serious about it, and it's a big commitment for them career-wise. Is it quite expensive, or is?
I think we're quite fairly priced. We have 3 packages available because it kind of depends on your lifestyle and what you want to do. So the sort of entry level is community classes. So it'd be community classes and parties. And that works really well if you've got like a toddler or a child that's not at school yet, or if you just sort of dipping your toe in. And that's just under £6,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Our franchisee that we have at the moment, she just did 3 community classes a week. So that was like 3 hours. I mean, there is admin and stuff. It's not just 3 hours.
Yeah. It's never as simple as that.
And she made her investment back in 8 months. So that might seem like quite a long time, but you're only doing 3 hours a week. So it is possible. And then where the good money is, or the secure money, is in schools and nurseries. So our next level is it's £8,000, and it includes the schools and nursery package. And that is where we give you everything you need to get into schools and nurseries. And we have a really good system. So that's for the person that maybe is not just looking for something to do alongside their children. This is for someone who wants to really sort of maximize their territory, maybe get some instructors in, and someone who's maybe more business minded and is ready to get serious about it, if you like. So, but we help you all the way. Like, we really have a really good way of getting into schools and nurseries. I've invested in a system for that, and it's quite successful. And then we have like the ultimate package, which is probably for the entertainer, which is just under £10,000, but that includes our elf doorstep visits, our Easter bunny visits. We've also done we have Professor McBoogie, who does like a slime and potions workshop at Halloween. So, and what that means is that when it's more money, it means you get more stuff. So you get all the equipment, you get all the costumes, you get all the lesson plans, all the policies, risk assessments, safeguarding procedures, everything you need, really.
It's like a ready to go package, essentially.
Yeah, that's what it is. Business in a box, they sometimes say.
Yeah, exactly. That's a much better way of putting it. I think a lot of people, when they hear about franchising, and I know I'm guilty of this, you think of the big companies like McDonald's or Specsavers, and you think you've got to have a lot in it to go to be that big. Whereas this is it sounds so much more reasonable than I think I'd expected franchising to be.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, it does feel like a big investment straight away. But the initial contract would be for 5 years, which also then again seems like a long time. But, you know, it takes you a little while to make yourself a pillar of your community. And it's a little bit more than just doing a job. It's, you know, being there for the children, especially, I think, especially for mums, it's integrating yourself in the community, hanging around with other mums, maybe the same, similar children the same age as you, or that when your child's gone to school, getting into their school, being a part of like someone that they look up to, that they enjoy. Like with Boogie Tots, there's certain nurseries we go to, we pull up, I've got it on my car, Boogie Tots. I pull up and they're like this, Boogie Tots, Boogie Tots. They're so excited. It's really like a joy for them. So you're getting a lot of feel good factor. Like for people that aren't enjoying their jobs or maybe, you know, get that Sunday night dread, it doesn't really have that. And I don't even work Mondays, so I never get the Sunday night dread because I've taken Mondays out of the equation.
But I guess that's another side of it as well, is that you're not sat in an office or at your desk all day. Yes, obviously there's admin and things to be done. There will be with any job. But then you're going out there and you're meeting people, and it's fun and entertaining, but also educational. So there's such a feel good factor with it.
Yeah. So as I said before, I've been doing it 18 years, and I was stopped the other day by it's by the mum, but she's with her teenager, and he had come to our after school classes. And when he was doing it, he was quite shy. So I think he landed the role of narrator in the play at primary school, and he was too nervous, he wouldn't do it. And coming to Boogie Crew gave him some confidence. I mean, he had a lot of confidence in our class, and he liked to take charge, which I welcomed.
Yeah.
And now, as a young teenager, he was the lead in one of the shows at his school, and she wanted to tell me. We're not 100% sure that's attributed to Boogie Crew, but I'm taking that.
Yeah, I definitely would. I think that's so lovely. And
Yeah.
it's so nice that mums and dads would take their child to a class, and then younger siblings, you will get to find out how the older ones are getting on when they leave or go to another school or whatever, and you can stay in touch like that. I think that's lovely.
Yeah, it's really nice. It really is nice. And I was recently in a pantomime, and
Wow.
I think there was two teenagers. Cinderella, the main character, she came to Boogie Tots when she was young. One of the Ugly Sisters did, and then two of the mice as well. So I was quite proud of that.
Oh, that's amazing. So where are you based at the moment?
So I live on the Isle of Sheppey. I have my territory, which is Sittingbourne and Sheppey, and then our franchisee is in Maidstone.
Amazing. So obviously you've been living this dream of running your own business and everything for nearly 20 years, which is incredible.
Crazy.
What would you say to a parent who's listening and they've got an idea, they've been sitting on a business idea, but they haven't yet taken the plunge? What would you say to them? Any tips or advice?
Yeah, I'd say go for it.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, because some people are waiting for it to be perfect, but they say done is better than perfect. And I just think you can have something that is absolutely brilliant, but if no one knows about it, no one can buy it or no one can come to it. So I think when I started Boogie Tots, I couldn't really see much risk. You know, maybe I gave a bit of my time, I paid a haul, and maybe no one turned up. But what did I didn't really lose anything, but I had so much to gain. So I would just say, give it a try. You know, whatever it is, if you've made something, created something, put it out there and see if people like it.
Yeah, 100%.
There will be someone that likes it, won't there?
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that, and I know I found it with, and well, you will have found it if even comparing like your first class to even the second class, like how you change and you adapt, and business doesn't stay the same, whatever industry. Take COVID, for example. Obviously, that was unexpected, and changed the way a lot of people work. Any business is never going to stay the same forever. So there's always going to be some change. So yeah, as you say, done is better than perfect. I say that a lot to my clients or people I talk to when they're trying to get that social media post. Just get it right or use the right image. And it's like, just get it done. So don't overthink it. Just do it.
Yeah. It's hard, but
Yes. But then, yeah, I think it's definitely worth trying it anyway.
yeah, I think there's a lot to be learned from mistakes. So sometimes you don't want to get things wrong, but I've had it where maybe I've employed the wrong people and like we've nearly lost a school because they're not quite the right person. But then I think that's interesting because then where are we going wrong? What's going wrong there? Like, was it the recruitment process? Are we looking at the wrong people? Like, or was it the training process? Didn't they know? So I think it's a challenge is good.
Yes, keeps you on your toes as well.
Yeah. And then when you solve it, you've got that satisfaction of right now it's good. Now it's almost perfect. So that for that person you've been waiting for, they can come along because it's perfect for them now.
How do you market the business? Obviously, there's like social media and website and things like that. But do you go out in person much? Do you do much networking?
Done a little bit of networking. I was at the House of Lords yesterday, which was quite fun.
Very exciting.
Yeah, just trying to put ourselves out there. But yeah, we do social media. We get a lot of our business from word of mouth. From the classes, they obviously parents tell other parents. I've had a lot of head teachers or teachers come to Boogie Tots with their child, so then they love it and they want to bring it into their school. I've recently got a school from doing their birthday party. So it kind of, the business markets itself quite well. And then, I mean, if we were looking at the long game, if we're nurturing those young performers now, hopefully when they get old enough, they might want to come and work for us.
It's such a lovely full circle moment. I'd love that.
Yeah.
So how does it work in schools? Would it be like an after school club?
We do after school clubs, but they're not our favourite. We go in school for curriculum lessons to teach. Some schools use it as an alternative PE lesson. Sometimes there's specific children that they want to target that maybe don't engage in normal activity, so would enjoy a physical activity more, and then the whole class benefit from that.
If you could go back in time and give a bit of advice to your younger self, what do you think you'd say? Besides, just go for it.
Yeah. So, well, if I knew what I know now, I would franchise earlier because I think
Okay, that's interesting.
yeah, and I didn't really expand earlier because I'd had experience with instructors and it hadn't gone well. And I think when it's your business, you want people to run it how you can, how you like. So I would do that. But also, I kind of done a bit of reflection recently, and I've always led with my heart. So at one point, I did have what I would consider to be the ideal job, the perfect job. I was just a performer, didn't have any daytime activities. I was just singing and doing shows, and I wasn't actually happy. I left that to go to Cyprus, like with my now husband. And I just think that's a good advice. Trust yourself. You know what you like, you know what you can do, and yeah, believe in yourself. I think everyone needs to believe in themselves. But actually, I've got it. The actual real bit of advice that I would give to anyone, and it's quite hard to learn, but if you can not care too much what other people think of you, you can fly.
Yeah. And I think you get to a certain point in life and you have to get to that point before you can look back and see that.
Yeah, you have to learn it before you can live it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really hard and I know I'll be saying it to my kids and they'll just be like, no, you don't understand, and give it 20 years and then
Yeah. So from that, from my background, my entertainment background, we would get people up onto the stage and it was maybe an air guitar competition. And the person that fully embraces it and doesn't care what other people think is the person that everyone loves. Whereas
and
the
they have the
person
most fun as well.
yeah, and the one that's a bit nervous and doesn't really want to be there, they feel awkward. And then the audience feels awkward too and doesn't get behind them as much. So yeah, it's got its benefits if you can just do it.
Yeah, just embrace it and go for it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been so interesting to talk to you. And if anyone wants to find out any more about franchising, I'll put a link to your website in the blurb so they can all come and find you, find out
Yeah.
more.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. If anyone wants to get in touch, you can contact Sammy direct, or if you want to send me an email, suggest a topic you want me to cover, the email is lucy@crescentdigitalmarketing.co.uk. You can follow me wherever you're consuming this episode, on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. It's everywhere. I'm very grateful for all your support. And again, a big thank you to Purple Frog Science for sponsoring the podcast. And I will see you next time. Bye.